Torch podcast. I am your host, B. Jones. I'm your host, not your horse. I'm your host, B. Jones. And tonight we'll be kicking it off with the Nevada Wolfpack against our USC Trojans, man. We're going to give you a preview and let's kick this thing off, man. Let's go. So, first quarter. What you got, guys? Why don't you kick it off? Go ahead, Gunner.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously we're going to see, more rotations and all that, but I want to see how those rotations look like at the wide receiver group. I mean, we have a lot of weapons there. Want to see more Deuce, even more Lemon. Want to see what Michael Jackson can do a little bit. He's healthy now. But just kind of see how those rotations look again. And then I just want to see improvement on the O-line. Again, I know we're going to see rotations there, but just want to see more improvement. And then kind of, what Henson said earlier this week, let's see if someone can start, hitting some knockouts, right? Or whatever he said, let's see if someone can emerge and solidify a spot. So those are my two, takeaways and things I want to see for the offense.
Bro, what do you want to see out of this offense, man? What you thinking? Opposed to last week.
I'm just curious if Lincoln Riley and the staffs are going to utilize the freshmen this upcoming game again. I'm not really concerned about our offense. I think that we're gonna pick it up by the time we need to, including the O-line. I'm just curious to see if the freshmen are going to play this game coming up.
All right, go ahead, Tyler. What you got?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I was hoping that Caleb wasn't going to be playing as late into the last game as he did end up playing. Want to see more of the kids get some reps. Want to see Miller time again. Like those deeper rotations, like, getting into some of the freshmen and getting some reps. Would love to see Joyner get a little bit of run in like the fourth quarter. Like Nevada's defense is really, really bad. So this should be a better chance for it to get out of hand quicker. Obviously depends on the defense, which I know we're going to talk about later here. But ultimately for me, I'm just looking to, see Caleb get off the field and let the kids roll a little bit late third quarter into the fourth.
Absolutely. What you got, Buck Chan?
I would like to. I know we're going to see rotations, but I want to see more consistency when it comes to those rotations. I would like to see. I don't want to see them like every other play switching players out. Maybe different series have different rotations because they need to mesh more than just two plays and then switch out at that point. They need to have more consistent, a consistent just rotation when it comes to the series. And also I would like to see more tight end play. I want to see them incorporate that a little bit more because was it Lake McCree? Lake McCree got a few catches, but nothing really after that first few drives or something like that. So I definitely would like to see that. And I just really hope that we see less of Caleb having to scramble in the back because he scrambled a little bit there, and he did try to throw the ball out of bounds and it almost didn't make it out of bounds, and they tried to tip it back in bounds. So I just want to see him a little bit more controlled in the pocket rather than a little less scrambling, because we know he can do that. It's just we want to see less of it. We want to just see him in a clean pocket, passing it down the field. And also when it comes to the wide receivers, I would like to kind of the same situation with the offensive line, but we didn't really see too much of Brendan Rice. We saw he had that one touchdown pass, and that was towards the end of all the starters being in there. So I would like to see more of the actual starters based off the depth chart, because we did see a lot of Deuce Robinson and Zachariah Branch, which of course we would love to see Zachariah Branch more, but we do. But yeah, for the most part, I just want more consistency rather than just rotating sporadically.
Right. I personally, for me, I would like to see Caleb not scramble so much in the backfield, like you said, but get upfield. We know you can pick up yards with your feet, man. Go ahead and do it. I mentioned last week, it seemed like, he's trying to fight a narrative, but even if that is or is not the case, I would like to see him get up the field, you know what I mean? Instead of scrambling around the back, or go ahead and pick up the yards on your feet, man. But I don't anticipate this D-line getting as much pressure as San Jose State did. And I would also like to see, well, I know for sure, because Lincoln had mentioned it, that there won't be as much rotation. I don't want to see as many guys this week. You know what I mean? I think at this point you should have some idea what, even though I do want to see the young guys get more seasoning, I want to see it in the back half of the game, in the second half of the game. So I would like to see the starters more of this game, because they got to get, in playing shape too. And you only do that by playing. So it was good to hear Lincoln say that the tight end position has been sewn up. Lake and Cree won that. I don't know if you guys caught that earlier. And I believe it came out today, if I'm not mistaken, in an interview.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's good to hear. Finally got some news about somebody locking down something, though. And it's good to hear, man. Congratulations to Lake McCree, man. Hope he balls out this season. So yeah, that's what I would like to see. Then that's what I expect to see out of this game for our offense. So we're going to move on to the second quarter. Second quarter, what do you guys want to see out of the defense this game? What do you guys expect to see? Go ahead, Gunner.
Yeah, so I mean, continued pressure with the D line. I want to, see that continue to happen throughout the game, throughout all rotations, essentially. Want to see more rotation with the linebackers. I know Lincoln mentioned this again. When all are healthy, he does feel that all five can rotate in and out. Shouldn't be any problem. So I want to see that happen as we go throughout this week and obviously future weeks, because there's definitely, Davis is one of them we feel should play. Gentry, right? Gentry needs to get more involved. Tackett's good just because he's a freshman. But just trying to get that, even Lee, right? Still having them in some run situations potentially, and stuff like that. And then lastly, it's just more Zion. We barely saw him last game. We've heard all this stuff about him throughout fall camp. So let's see it. I think we need to start seeing it a little bit more. I understand Max and Bryson are the upperclassmen, but I think it's just time to start, making that transition. So that's what I kind of look to see and hope to see this weekend.
Absolutely, man. Go ahead and hit it, Ro. What you got? What do you expect to see out of the defense?
On the defense, I'm interested. What I would like to see, just to see if Mason Kopp, a lot of people were on him in terms of taking bad angles, going after the QB. So I'm just interested to see how he does this week, what adjustment he makes, and then just see Tackett to see if he learned from game one, if he makes smarter reads in terms of pursuing the quarterback ready man. So, and just on the DBs, I'm just see if they can lock in, and hopefully we can make a shutout this game. I think Nevada might be a perfect candidate to, get the goose egg.
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%, man. Go ahead, Tyler. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, this offense for Nevada seems to be relatively similar to, I'm not the biggest tape guy, but it seems like they've got a similar structure to what's going on with what San Jose State threw at us last week. Got a dual threat guy, came from Colorado, Brendan Lewis. He won the job. I don't think he's as quick as what we saw last week, but getting the bracket coverage, having somebody like Gentry who locked everybody down last week. I mean, I think there was 5 3-and-outs while Gentry was out there, and then 7 or 8 series that he had. So everybody was talking about him not necessarily being healthy, and it seems like he is. And early half of the year before he got hurt last year, he was like everywhere, and that was like the one guy that was pretty sure-handed and not really missing a lot of tackles. And defense really kind of, cleaned that up. It didn't seem like there was a lot of missed tackles. I think there was like 9 missed tackles, which was pretty solid in comparison to last year. So I want to see more of that. I want to see the D-line get some pressure and, get into the backfield. And I'd like to see more Eric Gentry. Tackett looked good as a freshman. I mean, I wasn't, mad about it, but, Eric Gentry was an All-American for a reason. So if he's healthy at this point, I'd love to see him and Cobb, because that's 2 dudes that don't miss a lot of tackles. So I'd love to see that.
Absolutely. Dr. Chan.
Like Tyler said, Brandon Lewis is a dual threat quarterback. He likes to say he's not, but he runs a lot more than he thinks he does. We really need to contain. We just need to contain him. Either have someone spy like Eric Gentry, or even Tackett, because Tackett is quick. He knows how to track the player down. So we just need to contain him, because I don't think he's going to be able to beat us with his arm. I don't think they have the weapons to beat us with his arms, but on the feet, on the ground, he definitely can. He can beat us on the ground if he really has that lane, and we just need to maintain lane integrity and not rush upfield and not have anyone coming in from the outside. I do want to see more sacks, because I really felt like we should have bullied at least the offensive line, but granted they were pretty tenured for that. But Nevada just definitely doesn't seem like that. They're returning like 4 or 5 starters from the offense from last year. So there's definitely new players on there, and we should be able to expose that. And I do not want to see any big plays. We need to limit the big plays, because that's basically what San Jose State killed us on, was big plays. They didn't march down the field and beat us. They just had big plays after big plays, like the 50-some yard run, the 3rd and 23. I don't know how that even happened. And what else? Less penalties. Definitely less penalties, because every single one of our DBs got penalized for something. So we definitely need to be less handsy and more just timing it and cutting the route. And I want to see a takeaway. We haven't had a takeaway. And that's what I know a lot of people will be like, oh, if we get too many takeaways, it's going to be just like last year. But no, we still can have takeaways and still be a stout defense. So I definitely want to see under 100 yards rushing, hopefully. So, yeah, that's basically what I want to see.
Absolutely, man. I agree with a lot of what you just said. For myself, I want to see what they learned this week. What did they learn? Are they going to correct the mistakes that they made? As far as the young guys like Tackett Curtis getting out of position, not just young guys, the new guys, I should say, who are still learning this defense. And I want to see Grinch simplify the defense. And it sucks that I have to call him out, but some of those plays were on you, Grinch. The play calling was not the best. You put the guys in a position, in a horrible position to get beat. And I want to see that cut down. Just simplify it. Just keep it simple, man. Let's win with our athleticism. We have a much superior roster. Just let our guys go. That's what I want to see this week. And I want to see a little more Rajon, man. I want to see a little more Rajon in the lineup. No offense, nothing on Tackett Curtis, but he's a freshman. He played like a promising freshman, And now that we're getting into our schedule, the further we get into our schedule, we open up conference next week. We need the guys, who are really going to be in the rotation to start getting their feet wet and start getting a little seasoning. So I would like to see Gentry start with Cobb, and I want to see Rajon in rotation. And I'm not sure. I think it was Gunner who mentioned more Zion. we've been, like you said, we've been hearing it. Let us see it. Make us believers, man. He's got to get his feet wet too. He's got to get in shape, playing shape. You know, practice alone ain't gonna do it. You got to get in game shape. And rush ends have to keep contained. They got to start taking in everything with their inside shoulder, man. Keeping your outside shoulder free and keeping contained. Don't get too far upfield. Cut it in and make some plays, man. And let Bear eat. Force them back in. Let Bear and Bars eat, man. And I expect, we know that that Davis is not as fleet of foot as Cordero. Although he can run, he's not Cordero. So I expect more sacks. I expect the ball coming flying out, a couple interceptions. We should have had at least one last game. I think we'll get a couple this game. And that's what I expect out of our defense.
Yeah, on top of what you were saying about Stanford, they play us tough every year.
Right.
No matter how bad,
regardless of who they have.
Yeah, no matter who they have, they just play us tough. They just know how to play us, and it's basically a sub. What is it called? A sub rivalry game.
Right. Starting with Pete Carroll and Harbaugh. Yeah, since those days. I won't say starting there, but
problem.
We're going. Yeah, exactly. So regardless, man, they play us tough every time they come here. Remember, that was the game that got Helton fired. I was actually at that game. I honestly think I led the walkout that game, man, because I was out of there at halftime.
Oh, were you?
Man. Listen, after I saw Graham Harrell come out in an empty set after watching Stanford get ran all over the week before by Deuce Vaughn in Kansas State, he comes out in an empty set on our own 20-yard line. I was like, man, what? Why am I here, man? Why am I here? And surely enough, man, turnover.
Yeah, don't
three and out.
More.
What's that?
Don't mention those names.
Yeah, I know, man. I just had a horrible flashback. Hey, but we do got some good news, guys. This game is our last game on the Pac-12 network.
Is it?
So that's something to celebrate, man. It's the last one. Last time we got to deal with this, man. Everyone will be able to access games now, man.
Wait,
you don't have any sound effects for the Pac-12?
Every other game is not going to be on the Pac-12 after this game?
This is our last one.
Wow.
No mistake.
Last time we ever had to do guys. I'll be at the game this Saturday.
There you go. Get out there, guys. Yeah, go meet Raul, man. Sit next to him, bug him.
Talking about the game, I mean, I was looking at I'm not going to promote them because they're not promoting our podcast yet, but
there you go.
I saw tickets as low as $17.
Wow.
It's like, come on, guys. You guys can make it to the game. It's a 3:30 Pacific Standard Time start time.
But you know where those tickets are, though. If they're $17, they're way up there by you're sitting on top.
No, there was actually it was in the 200 section.
Wow. Okay.
It was all the tickets. I'm telling you. I was surprised.
That really hurts the fact that CU tickets are more expensive than USC.
Not at all. So.
Everything's more expensive this way. So
I don't understand. It's just
they want to cut us a break. I'm on for it. Yeah, man. So you guys give me your thoughts on what do you think of San Jose State? That was last week. Nevada's offense, man. What do you guys give me your overall takes on their offense, and what do you expect to see out of their offense? Go ahead, Gunner. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I mean, they scored 17 points last year, I think it was. I don't expect much. I mean, to be honest, I expect us to dominate their offense as long as Grinch doesn't, put the players into a situation they haven't practiced in or whatnot. But yeah, I just don't see how they can even score more than 14. So that's kind of my benchmark essentially for them on the offensive end.
Bro, what do you think? How do you think this is going to go for their offense?
From what I was reading and the brief research I made on Nevada, I saw that they went 2-10. They won their first 2 games last year, lost the last 10. And from what I think, there were some issues going on with the coaching staff there. Heard the left tackle or the left side of the O-line are pretty experienced. So they probably are going to try to run. So see how they look. And then you got John Jackson III, so they probably start throwing it at him. He's probably the best wide receiver this upcoming season. I think they had another solid receiver, but I would think they would try to run it and then try to give it to those two guys. And like Gunner said, no more than 14 points given. So,
All right, Tyler, what you got? Tyler?
There we go. Third time's the
Okay.
charm. Trying to get myself unmuted.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, kind of preaching the same thing here. Like, their offense should not be that great. They were, I think, 120th or 118th in the country or something like that last year. They've got some transfers. They got Sean Dollars from Oregon. They've got, John Jackson III. They've got guys that, should be a little bit better weapons, but at the same time, our defense should be improved. We should not make the same type of mistakes. I'd like to see, us not get cute and make them try to march down the field and earn it. If they score on like a 6 or 7 minute drive, then like they score on a 6 or 7 minute drive. That's what it is. But I just don't think they have the talent to be able to handle the type of pressure that we put, on the defense or as a defense last week. And ultimately, I just, play a little bit more blanket coverage. Don't let guys get over the top and have some sort of contain and make them earn it. Make them, get 6 first downs to be able to score a touchdown. So I think they'll probably score, 13 points would be my prediction for the defense giving it up. Maybe they've got a short field on one, and end up being able to get a touchdown out of it. If we have more than one touchdown, I give them a little bit of a pass last week. The defense kind of trying to figure things out, a lot of new guys, but if we give up 2 touchdowns without some sort of like freak thing being like a super short field or something like that, then I'm going to start having a little bit of concern with the defense here. Start ringing the ESPN alarm bells.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Go ahead, Bucky Chan. What you got?
I expect our defense to come out angry, because people say they don't listen to what the media says, but they have to see some kind of headlines about it, because it's there. You can't, like, if you try to go on ESPN, you look at college stuff, it's going to be there. Like, everyone is just hopping on basically what they saw with the score. They don't look into the deeper area when it comes to like what they were doing on defense and offense as well. So I just expect them to come out hungry, wanted to put them away. I'm hoping for a I would like to say mistake-free game, but you never know if they have different rotations going, and there's going to be some mistakes. But I definitely expect lack of big plays from Nevada. I expect them to run some trick plays on us. So I'm hoping that they can contain and not want to quickly rush towards the quarterback and just keep on to their man. So there's no breakdown in coverages. So, but I expect to see a lot of design runs for Brandon Lewis. And like from what I saw, I was watching a interview with the head coach for Nevada. Like Alex Grinch is one of his best friends, so he knows them. They've coached together before, so he even made a comment saying that that we may be nervous that they're going to see our signals. So that's something to look towards because they know each other. So it's going they're going to know all the signals that Lincoln Riley and Alex Grinch has. So I just hope that they just play sound football. Don't try to do anything special. Just play to our ability because we know we outclass them. We are a better football team in every facet. So just do your job.
Absolutely. To that signal thing, man, hey, it don't matter if you know anything we're doing. You can know everything we're doing, but you still got to stop it.
Yep.
Just get the ball to Zach Branch. Don't worry about it.
You mentioned Zach Branch a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're very familiar with that coaching staff from what Lincoln Riley was saying. So that should be interesting. But just a couple of notable guys they have on their roster. They have, I think someone already mentioned, they have Sean Dollars over there, transferred from Oregon. Also, Cross Patton, who is the son of Big Boy from the legendary rap group Outkast. He's over there as well, man. And it's JJ3's homecoming. So, hopefully he gets a lot of playing time. I was a little disappointed to hear that he hasn't cracked the starting lineup. But, long season. Hopefully, he does get that. But I think because of it's his homecoming back to USC. I think the coaching staff will show him some love. At least I'm hoping so. I want to see him do just well enough, no touchdowns for him, but just a solid game from JJ3, man. That's what I want to see. But I need to see our secondary tighten it up in coverage. And I'm gonna call out Sierra this game, man. Sierra, I need you to tighten it up. There were some basic routes that you kind of bid on that you shouldn't have bid on. you shouldn't have bid on those, man. You're a better player than that. So I would like to see him tighten it up. And as far as the expectation outcome, I expect us to win handedly, man. We just have way more talent than they do. They have some notable guys, and they're better than everyone else is going to give them credit for, just like San Jose State. But we just outweigh them so much and talent wise that it shouldn't even matter. It should be a blowout. And I hope that we get our young guys in the second half. I don't want to see so much of our young guys in the first half, to be honest. Let's go ahead and get the game out of reach. Then we can start trying things. Because the national media is going to eat us up regardless. If we blank them and put up 77, it's still, it's Nevada. It's Nevada. Who cares? You guys did it against Nevada. So we're not going to get the credit for this game that we should, no matter what the outcome is. But boy, if I think I said it in the group chat earlier, man. Oregon State plays San Jose State this weekend. And if they score over 28 points, what do you think the headline is going to be?
Oregon State's better than us.
You already know. Man. You're going to see Stephen A. and Paul Feinbaum talking about USC football. Can you believe that?
Yeah. They just got to keep their names or our names out their mouth.
Man, I don't want to hear Stephen A. talk about college football, period.
No.
And Feinbaum don't know nothing west of the Mississippi.
He's in bed.
I don't even know.
He's basically he's probably in bed just watching the Florida game, and he doesn't even I don't even think he turns on the Pac-12 network, even if he had a chance.
Well, I mean, we don't even turn on the network, so I know he's not turning up. So, but no, Feinbaum, he don't know nothing going on over here, man. So pretty interesting that they chose him to speak about USC. Him and Stephen A. Actually, it's not, man. Being that they're on ESPN, that's what's expected out of them.
They were there specifically just to bash us.
Exactly. All right, guys, we're going to move into the fourth quarter. What we got fourth quarter? Yes, let's get into these predictions for the rest of the Pac-12 games. You guys got that? Got the schedule loaded up?
I can read off the games if you guys need it.
Yes, please.
So right now, Florida and Utah playing right now. 14-3 Utah.
Yeah, that was, for me, that was somewhat expected. Florida is not. They don't look too great this year, and everyone's hyping up because it's an SEC team playing a Pac-12 school, and they just assume that the Pac-12 school is just going to lose because it's an SEC team playing a Pac-12 school, and SEC, and SEC everything in SEC. That's all you heard all week, right? And now look at the score. And this is without Cam Rising and Grant Keithley.
And this is
So
also in Utah.
And Utah. So a SEC school finally made its way out west, finally left home, and look what's happened. It kind of sounds familiar. Didn't Rick mention something about this last week?
Auburn?
Yep. Remember when Auburn came out here and talking all that crap?
Yep.
I'm sorry, we went there, didn't we?
No,
I'm
I think 2000
was that
3 they came out here.
That was 3, yes.
2002 we went out
Absolutely. There. Yep. That's it. And that's what Rick mentioned. Can we see more of this, please? Can we see more SEC schools traveling out west, leaving the SEC to to play some games?
No.
It won't happen. Will they ever play more than 9 conference games?
That's why we didn't have a home game against Alabama. They just wanted to do it in a neutral stadium.
It had to be a neutral spot. That was as far as west as they come, is Dallas.
Are we? And we're not even doing that with LSU.
Yeah,
we're playing them in Vegas.
Yeah, they don't want to come here. They want to go party in Vegas. That's cool. Go ahead and get drunk before the game. Yep. So, what else we got, man? I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry. Before we move on.
Nope.
Go ahead, Gunnar. What you guys think about this? I mean, this game's kind of going on, so it's kind of
no, you're good.
kind of hard to get a prediction about a game that's going on right now.
Right. So I mean, I'll add first a more prediction on our game. I think it's going to be a 63-7 game. That's my prediction for our game. But for Utah, Florida, I do have Utah. So it's a good start right now, as I'm sure everyone's watching. But I don't have no confidence in Mertz. I really no confidence in that entire Florida team. So I just think they're gonna, it's gonna be a gritty game, and they're gonna win that late. So.
Yep. Go ahead, Raul. What do you think about this game that's going on in process right now with Utah leading at the moment?
Personally, I wanted Utah to win just so we can, get the SEC people to shut up. Pac-12 is a solid. They got solid teams all around. Honestly, it is surprising that they're up 14-3. I think last I checked, right away without Rising. I believe Rising's not playing right. I haven't checked the game out. Said I'm not really interested about Utah or any other Pac-12 team other than USC. I'm not concerned about them at all. We'll see them when we see them each week. But I'm rooting for Utah to win. So when they come in phases into Coliseum, they got something to play for. And just kind of get revenge from the last year. And then in terms of our game, I'm gonna be biased here. I'm hoping I see that goose eggs. So it'll be, I'm thinking it's gonna be like a good 63-0, something like that.
Okay, Tyler, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to be optimistic and think that we're gonna throw up a goose egg. I just, I still think there's not enough continuity with the defense yet. They're still trying to figure out guys in certain spots. And yeah, I mean, I'd love that. But until I start to see some progress with guys who are, even remotely mobile in the backfield, then I just don't think that we could throw a donut up as much as I'd like to. I think we probably win like 59-10, somewhere around there. Give up a touchdown and a field goal, and their defense is like Swiss cheese, and Caleb's just gonna absolutely slaughter them. So Zach's gonna have some fun. Zachariah Branch is gonna have some fun again. I'm curious to see how long it takes for people to start taking the ball away from him. Seeing if they're not going to give him a chance. He's got a different type of Tyreek Hill 2.0 burst out there. Jaden Rashada is supposed to start for ASU. Interested to see what the freshman does there. I want to see what Dion's boy and Travis Hunter do against something that's not an HBCU. And TCU's turning over a decent amount of guys, but I still think TCU is going to handle that, pretty handily. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, like the rest of the schedule is pretty light. It's a lot of week 1 type games. I mean, Boise State against Washington, that's at home, so still think they handle that pretty handily. But other than that, Stanford hangs with Hawaii, then maybe we finally have an easy layup against Stanford for the first time. But who knows? So yeah,
that is at home. So
yeah,
for Hawaii.
Yeah.
So
So
hopefully they're
who
winning.
knows? But Hawaii, like bad, like Colorado bad last year. So
Yeah, that's true.
but yeah, I mean, the Utah game, like playing Rice Eccles is no joke. Like we got to see it last year. If it wasn't for that damn PI that was a bunch of BS last year, then that crowd doesn't get back in the game and that momentum swing, and we probably win that game pretty handily. I think that you can call me like a Pac-12 official hater or whatever, but whatever it is, like that was a pivotal moment that could have changed the season for us to be undefeated last year. That one specific terrible PI call. So, just like Raul said, rather see Utah win this game to establish a little bit more credibility for the Pac-12. So hopefully when we get our chance to get some revenge and not have to play them in Rice Eccles and get to play them at home, and maybe have somebody special run the boys out of the tunnel and get the crowd going. Looking for the revenge tour for that one, that's for sure.
You have a special somebody in mind, man, when you say that?
Yeah, I mean his jersey deserves to be back up in the rafters. I think most people could probably figure out who that guy is. Give him his damn Heisman Trophy back already.
We can do a whole episode on that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely
Mm-hmm.
Blackie Chan.
All right. See, I want all Pac-12 teams to win up until they play us, because I want that strength of schedule. I don't want anyone to be like, oh, they're just playing so-and-so. They've lost so many games, whatever. And plus, like, okay, it's the last year of the Pac-12. Yeah, I don't like the Pac-12 network. Yeah, I don't like how they've treated us, but we deserve respect. We definitely deserve respect. We have too many good teams that are not getting the respect that they need. So, but overall, I think Utah is going to start to pull away, or even more than they are right now, from Florida. And I just want them to embarrass Florida and embarrass an SEC school. So, anyone from the Pac-12 that embarrasses the SEC team is all right in my books. Maybe not Oregon, but I'm glad they got embarrassed last year. But
yeah, they haven't done that yet. So
yeah. So, but for us against Nevada, I want to see a goose egg. We haven't seen it for a while, since 2011. But
Jesus.
I think it's going to be 56-10. I know or could be 13, because from what I heard, they have a decent place kicker. So who knows? Maybe they'll be able to get close enough for a field goal. But yeah, since Tyler kind of went down the row here, I'll do that. ASU should handle Southern Utah. I don't know anything about Southern Utah, but Jaden Rashada, he was top 10 quarterback in the nation last year for coming out of high school. So he'll hopefully show him why. But Stanford, I don't even know what to think about Stanford anymore. We don't know anything about them with their new head coach, and Hawaii is Hawaii. They lost last week, so if somehow they beat Stanford, then I think we should be able to put up a goose egg against Stanford. TCU versus Colorado. I don't know what to think about. Like, TCU has been tarnished in my head ever since that Georgia game. So they should have lost a lot more games last year than they should have won. So maybe I consider them kind of lucky for all the wins that they had last year, like those late running onto the field field goals. So I think I don't want to say it, but I think CU can make it close. I still think TCU pulls it off. Oregon plays Portland State, easy game for them. Boise State and Washington, they always play each other pretty well. I don't get it. I'm surprised the Pac-12 hasn't tried to get Boise State to join them because they always have a decent team. Like every other year, like every 2 years or so, they always have a decent team. So, but too much passing attack for Washington to lose that game. Cal and what? Northern Texas? They're playing at Northern Texas? Okay. Cal has a decent defense with our former defensive coordinator there. I can't even remember his name. But I think they'll squeak out that win. CSU is a god-awful team. They were god-awful last year. They're probably god-awful this year. So Washington State, do they still have their quarterback?
Yes, Cameron Ward is still there.
He turned the ball over a lot last year, but
He did.
I still think that they put a hurting on CSU. Arizona versus Northern Arizona. Northern Arizona is pretty decent in their division, aren't they? I think they are. So, but
Usually.
Jaden Delora, he's going to be sneaky good this year. I think he could be like a fourth best quarterback this in the Pac-12. He has the ability to do it, and he has some decent receivers. So Arizona in that game, UCLA and Coastal Carolina. I don't know anything about Coastal Carolina, but I kind of want UCLA to be upset, but I know that's not going to happen. So UCLA wins that one, and I want San Jose State to keep it close with Oregon State, just to show them that San Jose State is not a bad team, as people expected them to be. And just because they're San Jose State, they're not San Diego State, like because San Diego State won their division, I think, last year. So I just want people to shut up. So either way, but Oregon State's going to pull off that game.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, obviously the Florida and Utah game is going on, like you mentioned. I'm just going to give a final score prediction. I'm going to say 42-10. So I think the final score will be. Yeah, I mean, Utah is a good second half team. You know, they finished well. That's a trademark of Whittingham, and he's a very good coach and, you know, very disciplined team, and that's what the disciplined teams do. You know, well-coached disciplined teams, they finish in the second half. So I'm going to give them that. I'm going to give them 42-10. And plus, Graham Mertz is trash. Yeah. See, we got Southern Utah, Arizona State. I mean, that Southern Utah shouldn't be beating any Pac-12 team. You know, I can't even tell you much about Southern Utah. I'm just going to assume it's in the southern region of Utah, the school. Yeah, that's about as much as I could tell you, man. So, yeah, I do want to see I think that's a good start for Jaden Rashada, get his little feet wet as a freshman, you know, get a little taste of college football. So we get to see him a little bit. And Stanford and Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii got smacked last week, man. I don't expect much from them. Stanford, get to see what they look like under their new head coach. I want to see EJ Smith. EJ Smith is still a solid running back. You know, he's pretty good. So I expect him to run all over them. Colorado and TCU. Like I said, Prime acquired a lot of good skills position players out of the transfer portal, but they're still lighting the trenches, man. And I think they're gonna be a little overwhelmed with TCU. I mean, they lost a lot too, TCU, but I think they're still a little more talented in the trenches. So I think that's what we're gonna see. And as far as Shedeur Sanders, man, I know he's getting a lot of hype. I don't want to say undeservedly so, but we haven't seen it at this level. You know what I mean? Yes, he balled out, and if you put his numbers up against Caleb's, they were pretty close, you know. But Caleb did it on the highest level, so you know I want to see how that translates over here to the FBS level. You know, I want to see what that looks like for him, Colorado, and it's not going to be an easy fight for them, but I think they'll be in it. I don't think that TCU will blow them out. I think Colorado has enough skill players to make it somewhat of a game. But I think TCU will pull away in the end. As far as the score prediction, I want to say 35-24. That's how I'll go with that one. Portland State and all right. I don't even know why I even got to mention this one. Portland State and Oregon. Yeah, Oregon's going to lose by 30. No, I'm just kidding. I'll say 66-3, man. Maybe Portland State will get a field goal in that one. Yeah, not much to talk about there. Boise State, Washington. Yeah, like you mentioned, Blackie, that's always a close game. For some reason, Boise State plays Washington like Stanford plays us. You know, they always play them tough, man. Even though there's not very much expectation for Boise this year, they always somehow, you know, are pretty solid, you know, historically speaking. But Washington, they have too much talent over there. They win this handedly. I'm going to say 42-14. Cal, North Texas. You would think it would be a blowout, man. You know, but Cal does have Tefford is over there, man. He usually keeps a good secondary, if nothing else. You know, so yeah, man, that's kind of hard to predict as far as the score for that game. But yeah, I think Cal will come up on top of that. At least I hope so, man. If you lose to North Texas, you got some issues. Your season's over before it even starts, man. Our game, yeah, I already mentioned, man. It would be nice to pitch a shutout, man, especially since we haven't done it since 2011. You said?
Yeah.
Jesus, man, that's way too long. But I don't expect that from Alex Grinch. I don't even think Grinch knows how to do that. Yeah, I just don't, man. I think he just, you know, somehow, even if we go in 2 minutes left in the game and it's, you know, we're looking at his shutout, man, I think Grinch will overthink it somehow and give up a big play, man, make a horrible play call, just overthinking. But yeah, we win that one handily as well. I'll say we give up maybe 14 this game. But I say 66-14. Let's see what else we got. We got Washington State and Colorado State. Who cares? Who cares, man? Cam Ward should go wild that game, but yeah, I mean, who's he throwing to? Can you tell me any receivers over there? Anybody? No? Gotcha. So
I can look.
Who cares? Who cares? Not even worth it. Northern Arizona. Oh, you could see Justin Flo, man. I want to see what he looks like in that defense, but I expect the Wildcats to go crazy over there. Delores going to go off. T-Mac, he's going to go off. So, yeah, they should win that handily as well. UCLA and Coastal Carolina. UCLA is going to be better. I know. I hate to say this. But UCLA is going to be better than what they're getting credit for right now, too. They got some decent transfers in. Yes, I know. They have Ethan Garbage starting at quarterback. I don't think that will last long, at least not when they get into the depth of their schedule and they have to face some real teams like us. I don't know if Garbers will be the guy.
Where did he play?
Cal, was it?
Was it
Did he transfer to Cal as well? Anybody?
I'm not sure. I thought he was a high school kid and just came on the team, but
Garbers?
yeah, I thought so.
You may be
That's
right.
that's more. I think you're thinking about more.
Yeah, Moore is the high
Oh,
school
yeah,
kid.
more. Yeah, but I thought, like, last year or something, like he was just in the system, like he was just been sitting. I didn't think he was a transfer.
Garbage was at Washington.
Oh, it was
there you
Washington.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it shows Dante Moore actually starting.
Really? It was reported that Garbers was starting.
Mhm.
Did Chip change his mind?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a smart move. You got a promising young guy. You should go with him.
I just Garbers
3
is
days
going
ago,
on.
said Garbage is starting.
Yeah, that was the last I heard of it.
Yeah.
He's a junior too. He's gonna be a junior this year.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Probably got some experience. That's the reason.
But all
That's probably the reason why they went with him. But
to play.
Will Moore be transfer bait? We'll see. Oregon State, that's my last prediction. Oregon State, San Jose State. Oregon State lost a lot on defense with Rajon Wright leaving. He's going on to the NFL. But I still think they're going to run the ball very well on San Jose State. They have a very good running game over there. Jonathan Smith, he's a solid coach. So I expect them to win. I think it'll be closer than our game was. I don't expect, them to win by 28. At least I'm hoping, because we got to hear it if they score more than 28 points on. If they score less than 28 points on Oregon State, we're gonna hear about it. They're gonna come right back to us. It's gonna be all over ESPN, and we got to hear Stephen A. Smith and Paul Feinbaum talk some more about how much we suck. So, yeah, hopefully Oregon State. Hopefully San Jose State shows what they are. Shows that they're underrated. I don't expect them to win, but that's what I want. I want to see them at least show that they are somebody. Just because we played them already. I'm
actually interested to see how DJ does over there.
Yes, absolutely. I think, we get to see if what DJ was saying this offseason about Clemson's offensive coordinator is actually true. He took some shots at him, man. He took some shots. He's saying the offense was boring, and I can't quote him verbatim off the top of my head, but yeah, he basically said that the offense was boring and very confusing, and basically said that the OC sucked. So let's see, man. Let's see what DJ does, man. We'll find out if it was him or the offensive coordinator. And
interesting to see him with Garrett Riley.
Yeah. Yep. Clemson's a sleeper too because they have Garrett Riley. But I don't know if they have enough talent over there to actually make a move. I don't see them beating Florida State for the ACC title, but we'll see. That's it for my predictions. What you guys got? You guys got anything of note to talk about?
Yeah, I'll just add that I do think Hawaii beat Stanford. They're at home. They barely beat Vandy last week on the road at Vandy. I do think Hawaii beat Stanford.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
First home game. Crowd's going to be there. They're going to be playing for the state. So, we know nothing about Stanford. So.
It's true. They have all new regimes, so we don't know what we're going to get out of Stanford, but I do think they're a little more talented than Hawaii. Oh.
Maybe Hawaii could be playing for all the fires that are going on. Maybe it's just a motivation for them.
You know what? Yeah, you got a point. That is something to play for.
Yeah, and right now I just don't see Stanford being a better team than Vandy. So, at the current moment.
Going to a different game, Coastal. From what I've seen in the past, I think Coastal Carolina it's a pretty decent team. So I think they'll put up a good fight with UCLA. I wouldn't be surprised if they might shock them and upset them.
I would agree with you on that, Raul, but Chadwell's gone. Their coach who got them to that point.
Yeah.
Chadwell went to Liberty. So we don't know what we're going to see out of Coastal. Had this been last year, I would agree with you 100%. So we don't really know what we're going to see out of Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. So
I found out this morning.
So.
I learned that this morning. So yeah, that kind of flew under the radar, man. That wasn't, that didn't make any major headlines this offseason.
I think who's the wide receiver in the NFL that came from Coastal Carolina? Is it Cup?
Cooper Kupp?
Or yeah, is it him? Or there's some solid top wide receiver that came out of Coastal Carolina, I believe.
Cup was, I think, like Eastern Washington or something like that.
Oh, Eastern Washington. I might be confusing.
Yeah, for Cup, yeah.
In terms of like, we're in OT now, or?
Yep, OT period. So free to talk about. Give me throw a random topic out there, guys. Let's chop it up.
All I know is that we need to continue Nevada's streak they got going on. They have a 10-game losing streak. So we got to keep that going.
Really?
Yeah, 10 games. They won their first 2 games, and then after that, they lost ever since. So we can't let them lose out on that anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, the two teams, EV just chimed in and said 2 teams haven't played since 1929.
Wait, USC hasn't played?
USC and Nevada have not played since 1929.
I swore they played a while ago, but I'm guessing UNLV.
I thought so too, but I've heard other people mention this too. So, yeah.
It was probably be then.
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah, all I know is that Nevada is going to have a lot of Cali boys wanting to get some kind of validation for if they can beat us or keep it close. So they can say that they should have been picked or they should have been recruited by us. So.
Yep. Yep. They're always going to want to, local guys always seem to, want to show out when they come to the Coliseum, man.
Yeah.
They'll be playing in front of their families. I'm sure their whole families will be there. So they're going to give us a little something, man. That's something to take into account. But
it'll be hot out there too.
Oh yeah, it's expected to be hot. Let's see. Let's get a weather report for Saturday.
I think it was going to be 77.
Oh, okay, not bad.
Unless it's changed, but
really,
I mean, for
77.
somebody that's light skinned, at 77 is going to feel like 90 something for me. Yeah, it's going to be 77. So I'm hoping there's going to be some clouds around, so I can get at least a little break in there.
I'm telling you, because there's definitely not much shade at the Coliseum.
Nope.
And the sun's gonna be hitting me right in the face. I'm in
make sure you wear
section
hat,
120,
sunglasses, tank top, whatever you got to do, man. Get a mister.
The game starts at 3:30.
Yes, 3:30 game, man.
That's a
hydrate.
5:30 for me, so that's not too bad.
Yeah. Yep. For us, LA guys, yeah. But you guys plan on going to the game? Make sure
I'll be there.
Prepare yourselves for that heat.
Are you going to make any games this year, Brandon?
I'm trying, man. I'm working on my schedule. Hopefully, things will be settled by next week. I'm on call basically, so
they should know it's USC football season.
Yeah, the problem is my clients are Ruin fans. Ruin alum, actually. I'm working for Ruin alumni right now. So,
there you go. Tell them get your tickets on him for that UCLA game.
Yeah, which is interesting because I saw their company's ads all over the Coliseum last weekend. But
you see Caleb Williams in a Wendy's commercial?
I did.
Yeah. I was just sitting there and I saw Wendy. I thought I was expecting Reggie Bush or whatever, and then it was Caleb. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, hey, nobody's doing. Listen. I feel like we're the only ones doing actual NIL.
correctly.
Because actual, and I don't see national. I mean, I won't say none, but I see very few national billboards of any other college teams.
Oh yeah,
players.
Mario got his billboard.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll post it on our IG if you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of our fans are down on our high school NIL, but if we do it right, I think we're in a good spot. I'm not sure if you guys saw Panini with Zachariah Branch with the
Yes, sir.
NIL deal.
Yes, sir. All it took was one game. Ball out.
Yeah, he has his own cards now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got to go get a card.
Drops Monday.
Hey,
Oh, speaking
what
of,
does please say he's so smooth.
did a little shopping today, man. Suddenly, man, you see a bunch of number 1 USC jerseys all over the place, man. Just that fast. You know, if you compare last year, you know, you've seen the 13s everywhere. Now you've seen a lot more number 1s and just that quick.
Yeah.
So, pretty interesting.
He's got 3 more years left.
Yep.
You'll have 3 years wearing that jersey.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And he definitely will earn it like Mike Williams. But he's going to be the small version of Mike Williams.
Yep.
Yeah. Listen, I definitely see a Heisman in his future. I said it last year. I said this exact same thing last year when he committed. I'm like, that kid has Heisman potential. And I think he will get one before he leaves.
If he gets 1,000 yards passing and 500 plus yards in any kind of return portion of this, 500 upwards, he'll be in New York.
I can see that. Matter of fact, hey, let's do some over-under, man. What you guys think about that?
Sure.
We get some over-under here. Over-under on 2 interceptions. 2+ interceptions.
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna say over.
All right, give me your reasons why. Why do you feel that they'll be over?
Bro, you go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna say over. I think they're probably gonna try to throw it at John Jackson. They're gonna make a few mistakes. The quarterback's gonna do mistakes, and I could see us getting three interceptions.
Okay. You think they're gonna try to force feed John Jack a little too much and just get sloppy with it?
I mean, my predictions based on just the USC is going to take a huge lead. They're going to have to be forced to pass the ball, and quarterback's just going to start throwing it out there and make a few mistakes, and the defense is going to capitalize on those mistakes. So I could see 3.
What about you, Black Chan?
And then
sorry.
No, I was sorry about that. And then 1 pick 6. Go with that prediction there.
Okay.
All right. I don't think I have it under only because I don't think they'll get 2 interceptions. I think they'll get 2 takeaways. I think we'll get an interception, but I think that we'll get a strip sack.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're emphasizing more of just like technique rather than going for the ball or whatever. And a lot of the time, the interceptions that we had last year were a lot of tip balls. So who knows? Maybe we'll have tip drill going on again. But I just think that it's going to just a strip sack and a tip ball for an interception. And I think it's going to be Kalen taking it to the house if it's a pick 6.
Okay. What about you, Gunner?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same with Black and Chan. I think it's going to be under in terms of the interceptions. Just seems like they're not really focusing on, trying to create turnovers or whatnot. I think they're more focused on getting stops and, 3 and outs and stuff like that. So yeah, I think under for the interceptions.
Okay. I'm gonna say over I'm gonna say over if Eric Gentry gets more playing time. because he just causes havoc for quarterbacks. Like, overthrows, underthrows, just trying to fit the ball in over him is just a problem, So if Gentry plays more, over for sure. Over for sure. But if Lincoln decides not to play Gentry as much for whatever reason, then I don't think we do. Actually, it's still possible, but I don't. Yeah, for the same reason that you guys said. But I expect the ball to be floating out of there, out of Lewis. I called him Davis earlier, but Brandon Lewis, I expect him to get teed off on by Barry and Jamil Muhammad are just going to give him all he wants. They're going to be in his face constantly, in my opinion. I don't think their O-line is going to be able to handle our D-line. And I expect that ball to come squirting out. If we can keep contained, that's the key. We have to keep contained. If we keep containing this game, then it's going to be all kind of problems for them.
I got one here. Over under. Caleb has 300 plus yards passing.
Over, for sure. For sure. And I say over because I don't think there will be as much rotation. I think our original projected starters, the guys that really know the offense and Caleb is more familiar with, will play a little more this game. And there'll be a little more continuity this game. So, and that's easily. I even think that he'll probably throw for 400.
Okay. What about you, guys?
I would say over as well. I mean, it was close last week, so yeah, I think we're gonna spread it open a little bit and maybe create some bombs.
Bro,
I'm gonna go under for the simple fact that I don't think Nevada's gonna put up a fight at all. So we'll probably pull Caleb Williams early in third quarter. It's probably gonna be Miller time, third quarter, and then we might get to see Malachi in the fourth. So I'm hoping that it'll be over by halftime, with like up by 40, and we just shut down Caleb on second half completely, to be quite frank with you. So
okay. Anybody got any other over-unders? Sacks. Let's go sacks, man. How many sacks
I
you
was
guys?
just about to say that. Yeah.
Go ahead and shoot first.
What do you think? Over under. USC gets four sacks.
4 sacks. I'm gonna say under. I think. You know what? No. I'm gonna take the over on that. I didn't see. I don't feel like Nevada's O-line is that great, and if there's not as much, if the projected starters play a little more than last week, then we should get a good amount of sacks, man. I know Lewis can move a little bit, but he's not Cordero. And I'm assuming that, the rush ends are going to keep better contained. And I think Bear will end up with 2 sacks himself. I think Jamil Muhammad will have a couple. And Solomon Byrd as well.
All right, Raro.
I'm gonna go over for the simple fact that I think our D-line's that much better. I'm gonna say Bars with 1, Bear with another, Lucas and Jamil, and then I'm hoping we can get the Tackett Curtis sack. See if I just kind of get his confidence up. So I'm gonna say Tackett Curtis for a sack as well.
Okay.
Gunner?
I'm actually gonna say under. I think we're gonna get close to that 4, but I think we'll get like 2, maybe 3. I think we're gonna get the pressure. I think I can see the quarterback throwing a lot of balls away right before he gets sacked. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we will get 4. I think he's gonna the pocket's going to collapse on him. We are going to contain him, but it's going to collapse on him multiple times. I can see Mason Cobb getting a sack. He's going to – I think they may blitz him up the middle, and then I think Bear will get his sack. And I actually think Anthony Lucas is going to be pretty key on this when it comes to containing Brandon Lewis, because I felt like he was just really fast off the edge at San Jose State. If he gets more playing time and consistency, he's definitely gonna wreak havoc in the backfield.
Absolutely. So we all we all agree, right? Pretty much over on that.
No, I think
Right on.
I think Raul was under.
No, I
You
went
said
He
over.
was over. Yeah, I
he
was
was over.
under.
Yeah, I said.
Oh,
I
you were
Went over.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. All right. Anything else?
I'd say over under. Alex Grinch makes 2 questionable calls on the defensive side.
Man, you can almost count on that, dude.
Why did you lowball that?
Hey,
oh man.
I don't want to throw Grinch under the bus that bad. I'm hoping that he gets his act together and he's learned from his previous mistakes, and our defense gets better in a weekly basis. So hopefully it's under 2.
Yep.
Yeah, listen, we're all hoping that it's under,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I could easily see that being over, and I'm gonna go with the over. But this time I just don't think that it'll make the difference in the game.
Yeah.
But at least I hope. I'm just gonna say it, dude. Grinch is one of those guys. It's not nothing really bad, but Grinch is one of those guys, man. He's an overthinker. If you ever just watch his interviews, he'll get asked a simple question, but it'll give you a pretty complicated and long answer, So he's just one of those guys that just, they overanalyze everything. And I think sometimes he outthinks himself, But if he keeps it simple, man, he'll be all right. His scheme is not the issue. I can tell you that right now. It's not. This scheme has one. Clemson ran the same scheme. Georgia ran a multiple 3-5 last year. It's not so much the scheme. It's just play calling, and you have to be very disciplined in this defense. There's no room for error. And right now we have a lot of guys that are learning this defense, so there's going to be error, and it makes him look that much worse. So overthinking is not, you're just making a bad thing worse, or there's not much room for error already, and you making errors as a coach is just not acceptable. It's not. There's no room for that. Player errors you could deal with, but coaching errors is like, what are you doing? Especially in this defense with 3-man front.
Yep. Yeah, I will say it. Like, he put us in position a lot last year. It's just, the fact that the player, like, not all of it's on the players, not all of it's on the coaches, but it's just if you're in the right position. Like, we had so many missed tackles, and the only way we have that many missed tackles is if we're in the right position and just don't finish the play.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100. And because the talent level that we have now, there's no more excuses. We got guys who can tackle, So it's just a matter of them, getting a good grasp of the playbook, because in this defense you have to know the playbook to a T. And that's what a lot of people don't really understand, when they criticize Grinch. So, and at the same time, it's like they say, well, why run a defense that's so complicated that these guys can't get it, So I can kind of understand that too. What I mean? I think he does need to simplify things a little more, especially when you're installing, You got to keep it basic, man. So like that call last week before the half should just never happen.
Yeah.
Just never happen. Even if you have veterans, and it wasn't even necessary to call that. You're trying to trick the quarterback. He's a veteran. You know, Cordell's played a lot of football. You're not going to fool him that easy. You know, he recognized cover 2 regardless if it was inverted or not, and he attacked it right where it was supposed to be attacked. So.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I think that's it for us, guys. What do you guys got anything else?
It's
Got nothing.
not USC.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'd
Mike.
say it's not UCLA or anything related. It's Florida, being that they're playing. I'll bring it up. The Swamp Kings. Have you guys watched any of that? It just brought bad memories in terms of USC. That 08 team, I feel like deserved to be in that championship game, and we would have won.
Was that when Florida played Ohio State?
They played Oklahoma. I want to say.
Okay.
And they beat them pretty decisively. I want to say I can't recall the exact score, but I just feel like that 08 USC team should have won it all.
Wait, that was with John David Booty?
That was with
or was that Sanchez?
I can't remember the exact quarterback, but I know it was Malzaga, Brian
that
Cushing
defense. That 08 defense.
So, yeah, I think it was John David Booty then.
Yeah, I think it was him.
Because I remember that game that he had where he like broke his finger or something like that, and should have went out of the game, but then we would have Mark Sanchez in there.
Where's Rick when you need him? Rick could tell you.
Yeah, right.
Rick will tell you right.
For that 08 season, we lost early versus Oregon State, like a very close game. I think it was like 27-21.
Yeah, and then Rogers did it to us.
Yeah, and then we just ran the table the entire season. We only lost one game. Same thing with Oklahoma and Florida. But obviously, SEC bias pretty much took us out of the BCS standings. I think we finished fourth that year.
That is the year they started executing their I won't say that's when they started executing the plan, but that's when you start seeing things coming to fruition. that plan that the SEC and ESPN had for eliminating the West.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is the year.
It was painful to watch. I thought USC could have won that year for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Well, guys, I think that's it for us. Make sure before you guys get out of here, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and like and subscribe. And we'll see you here after the game on Sunday. We'll be covering post game. We'll be telling you what our thoughts of how the game went. See what some of our predictions came into fruition. So please come back and join us on Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And that's going to be it for us, everybody. Fight on.
Fight on.
Fight on.